Okay, so we've seen how to draw some bar charts, but you can imagine if this manual selection of different categories or different segments of data is a bit laborious. Okay, imagine if we had 250 products rather than 25, we'd be typing up those lists all day. Or if it was 250,000, then it would be almost impossible. So the other way we can do this, as we saw last week, is we can decide on what the limits of each category are, each segment, and get the code to work the selections out itself. So this is the code that will do that for you. Okay, I've decided I'm going to have 4 categories. So high, medium, low, and very low. And then what I do is create a set of selected categories, so that they're going to be lists. I don't want to spend too much time talking about programming in this course, so don't worry if you don't follow this. But what I'm doing is in this second line of code, I'm creating 4 empty lists, so one for each category, which I'm going to add the category, the label, the product labels to. And then all I need to do is loop over the columns of the data. So there's 25 columns of data from A to it's Y, isn't it? It's not Z, not Z. There's no column Z. I loop over those. I get the total sales for that column. So that's stored in this variable total sales here. And then if that value is greater than 100,000, I put it in category 0, which is the high volume category. If it's not greater than 100,000, but it's greater than 40,000, I put it in category 1, and so on. So you can see that the limits between each category are 100,000, 40,000, and 10,000. And if you go back to those charts that we looked at, the bar charts we looked at in examples 3, 4, and 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can see that those will then, or even back to the original picture, actually, that's probably quite enough to see. You can see 100. If I put a line at 100,000, that will separate out the top 3. If I put another one at about 60,000, sorry, 40,000 wasn't, is the next one. That's going to separate out those 5 medium columns. And if I put another one at 10,000, it will get rid of all the small ones at the bottom. Once I've decided what category it is, 0, 1, 2, or 3, I can then put that name into that category and then print out what category each product is in. Okay, so this is what it's doing. It's looping over all the products. It's deciding on the category based on the total sales and adds it to the selected category. And then, having done that, I've then got 4 lists of product names. So the first one is the high volume products, and that's listed in category selected 0, and so on. And then I can loop over those categories selected and draw the selected data from that category. Okay, so the plotting code here, again, it's just taking those 4 categories, it's looping over them, and for each of those categories, it then gets the data in this selected variable, and it gets the index, which is going to be 0, 1, 2, or 3, so which category it is, and it uses that to get the title. Everything else is exactly the same. If you didn't follow that, don't worry. You don't really need to modify this code to use it to use it for the examples, for example. So all you really need to do is make sure that you modify these values, because if you're using this on a different data set, obviously a high volume, there might be nothing over 100,000 in whatever data set you're looking at, or there might be nothing over 40,000. So if you want to split your data set into different bits, this will split it into 4 bits. Then you need to decide where the limits are between each bit, each segment, or each category. Okay, let's finish the video there, and then we'll look at how we can then improve the picture having done that. I should just run that bit of code actually though before I do that. Let's do that. Here's the automatic categorization code. So there you can see it does that as I explained it. It splits it up, and then it prints out what the categories are, and then it does the visualization for each category. So if I run that, this takes such a long time to start up. There's done the categorization. There's the high volume products. There's the medium. So it does each chart one after the other. There's the low, and finally there's the very low volume. Okay. Later on, we'll find out how we can put all of those charts in the same picture, so we don't have to draw one after the other, but not this week. So, improving the overall picture, let's get on to that in the next video, and I'll finish this one here.